Awesome. Well, welcome to the Anthony and Amandla show where
conversation never ends.
Whoop, whoop. I'm Amandla. This is Anthony. And we want to welcome our guests. Thank you for joining us. We have
JP
and
Danny.
And they are the owners of Davinci Ice Cream and Carson. Welcome.
Thank you.
Do well.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today, man. I really appreciate it. This is kind of like surreal and awesome. You know, I was kind of mentioning to Amandla that anytime I think about ice cream, I always think about my childhood and how like ice cream is so forged into like our culture and like society. I was just like kind of speaking personally. I was like, yeah, every time I think about ice cream, I think about, you know, the one thing that we wanted as kids, like desserts, you know, and just like how chasing down the ice cream truck, you know what I mean? Like you heard that shit and you were like, oh my God, like I'm darting out and I'm gonna go chase him down and go get it. You know, I always talk about, I don't know if you guys have seen, Eddie Murphy does a stand up in Delirious. He talks about his ice cream bit about, you know, mama, throw out money. And I was like, I relate to that so much, you know what I mean? So I'm so happy and geeked to be out here with y'all. Like, so thank you again, man. And just walking in and seeing the walls and all the artwork and stuff, like it's so cool, man. It just felt like, like this is definitely where I need to be and should be. It's just super inspiring to see the walls and stuff.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's a little different. It's not your usual ice cream shop. I think that's probably the best thing about this place is it's, you know, most ice cream shops, they have their own, you know, gimmick or thing, but this is it's not an ice cream shop. It's a paint studio. It's not a paint studio. It's an art gallery. It's a little bit of so many things, you know. I think the best thing I like is when, hey guys, the best thing I like is like when you came in, you know, you came in to an ice cream shop and you're like, what's all this art? There's paintings and there's what I thought I was coming to an ice cream shop. There's some people who hear about us only about our paint nights, and when they finally come, they're like, wait a minute, I thought you were just serving ice cream. I didn't know you were an actual ice cream shop. So it's cool to get those like, wait a minute, you do all of that? Like, that's always cool to see that reaction when people walk in.
Yeah, it's cool you add like flavor to the shop, you know what I mean? And it makes it it makes it like just seeing it and it's, you know what, like I know where to go to get ice cream now, because I'm, you know, you go to any other place, it's very plain. It's like ice cream only. Where you come here, you know, the first thing I saw was all of the amazing pictures you got right there. And immediately I was like, all right, I feel connected immediately.
The nostalgia.
It's a vibe,
Yeah, the nostalgia.
That's what we aim for, but it's kind of, when kids come in here, everybody's just always on their phone, and I'm like, cool, people come in here, they get off their phone, and they actually enjoy the wall. Like, it's cool to see people not on their phone. Like, that was the purpose of it. And then it's just, we try to change it up all the time, bring in new art, and everybody, like, you connected to Samurai Jack. Some people don't know who Samurai Jack is, but like sometimes I don't know, the One Punch Man sold out, but like it was One Punch Man versus Goku, and people freaked out. People were just like, oh, I need this. Like, and I've never seen One Punch Man.
But people knew who it was.
But it's just everybody. You see everybody's different characteristics, and you see what they like, what they love. Like, you're just like, there's so many different personalities, and I think it attracts different people.
It also creates the conversation. Instead of people just coming, getting ice cream, sitting, and leaving, they're like, did you see that show, or did you see that episode? Like, did you watch the whole thing? What did you think? And it's like, you can start engaging with people instead of, like he said, just coming in, being on their phone, and then leaving. You
Yeah.
It's a little bit more to it.
We don't have to sing songs to you like Cold Stone. Make you feel uncomfortable, and you're like, oh, do I tip them for singing? Do I not tip them?
Yeah.
Like you get an actual genuine conversation. You don't get this awkwardness like other stores.
It's like you just immediately establish a connection to your customers who come in.
Yeah.
Because immediately I'm like, all right, cool. I need to just come back here regularly just to get some ice cream now because I want to see what's on next time when I come here. You know what I mean?
That happens a lot. People are like, what's new?
Mm-hmm.
What's your new art or what's your new paint night? We have a bunch of pins. People are always it's funny. Pins have gotten pretty big lately, and some people are like, "What do you do this for? Like, where do I put it?" And then next,
like the pins that you put on are
like a lanyard or your jacket. And
the
some
hat
people,
pins or whatever.
some people would come in and see them and be like, "What do I do with it?" You have the office pins. Like now they buy lanyards, so next time they start collecting them, and and then they're like, "Do you have anything new? Is there anything new this month?" Or I'll come back next week. It's cool. And even with our flavors, our cookies, which actually I just baked for you guys. You guys are gonna be one of the first ones to try them. I'm always creating something. So we've got chocolate chip cookies mixed with brownies to create a brookie. We're calling it. Feel free to grab them. Baked them fresh this morning.
Definitely try this because it's been so hard not to.
And let me.
You try it too, man.
And me and Dan were talking earlier. So you were telling me about, and this is something I never even thought about, but like the process of like going from having like an idea of what might taste good and have it written down as a recipe to like having it to where you have it now. We're trying it, we're testing it out. Like how does that process even start?
I mean, it all starts with Jose, grab one. There we go. I mean, it's all an idea. I have a notebook with just, and not even stuff that we necessarily carry, but just what can I make next? What can I make next? What can I make next? And then I slowly start to see, okay, well, how can I put it together? Okay, cool. Well, how do I make the process? How do I actually mix it? How do I bake it? What temperature should I do it at? How should it look when it's finally baked? How should it taste when it's finally baked? These cookies, there's actually 3 different formulas. So each of you guys tried something different. One of you has a full piece of brownie. Anybody have a big chunk of brownie?
I have mine. So good.
One of you guys probably has is a super brownie.
Yeah.
And then one of you guys has maybe a little smaller piece. One of you has way more brownie than chocolate chip cookie dough. I mean, it's just trying and trying. It's trial and error. I've actually been working on these cookies for I think a little over 4 weeks now.
Boom.
Dang.
And I'm still not done.
Boom.
Another maybe week or 2 if I'm lucky.
I mean, it's like you're just mastering the cookie.
Exactly.
You know
It's
what I
got to
mean?
come out to, whenever it's ready. Whenever it's good for you and good for the. That's the one, you see.
Oh my God.
So I mean, it's just trial and error, just seeing what's gonna work, and when it's ready, it's ready.
I was gonna say, and I'd love for both of y'all to speak even more towards like that idea of like having to learn on the fly, having to fail, having to adjust, and not just say, all right, we're just gonna get to this level and see how it looks. Like you said, it's like, no, we have to get to this level to reach our goal. And so, and going through that first year of being in business, because you guys opened up in 2016? 16. So in that first year of being in business, like, how was it going through those like ups and downs, especially because I remember we were talking earlier, that was the first time y'all had started like a business like this, right?
Storefront, yeah.
Awesome. So how was that year and like
It was all learning curves. That was the first year. Was all learning curves. Like social media changes all the time. So what worked in 2016 doesn't work today. So like let's do Facebook marketing. Now if you do something on Facebook, it's just pointless. Like just that learning curve. There's a social media curve. There's a employee curve. How many employees do you staff at one time? Like what do you do? The curve on the ice cream flavors. Like we have flavors. Like we had green tea. No one in this area likes green tea. They're just like, why do it would sit there. It would sit there and just take up a spot, and then we switch it out for something cool, and then okay, now it's moving.
Yeah.
Like it's just like even the learning curve right there. It's just there's so many different flavors of ice cream. Which ones do people really want? Like finding what people really want, and that kind of led to we try to change 3 flavors every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it creates a little bit of a demand, and people are like, come try it. Like watermelon, people lose it over watermelon because it's only available during summer because watermelons grow in the summer.
Yeah.
So
In 2 or 3 weeks,
starts,
it's gone.
it starts in like June, and then we'll have it until September, early September. And after that, it's gone. And then people are just like, oh man, like they're just bummed. They won't, like there's people who won't come back until June.
Straight up.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I'll try and order as many tubs as I can carry to last me as long as it can, and it's usually like a month and a half because they know it's already ending, so they really have to get it before it's gone. And then sure enough,
That dude just bought three
Yeah.
doubles.
Yeah. He knows. He's been coming in for quite a while now. He's a regular, but he comes in to make sure. Is it here? You got it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take 3 pints, and you just saw him walk out. He walked out with 3 pints. So yeah.
Dang.
So it's cool to. And even Jose's girlfriend, she loves chocolate covered strawberries. She waits till it's in, and I bring it in. I try and bring it in maybe like once every other month, just to literally satisfy her, like because I know she's gonna come in and she's gonna be happy about it, and so I do that with a lot of flavors. It's a bummer because you see some of your regulars like disappointed, like, oh, you don't have it now, like, and so I, every now and then I'm just gonna throw it out, see what happens, and then sure enough people are like, I'm back, you have it, I saw it on Instagram, like, give me 2 pints, give me 3 pints, and they'll get it as long as they can, and then next thing you know, it's gone again. So that's kind of been a big learning curve, is let's create some urgency for people to try something new. So that's been cool.
I mean, it's working. It's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
working.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
yeah. I think the first question I had was, where did you, or at least maybe when did the idea first come as far as like incorporating the art and the was it just called art night?
Paint night.
Paint night. There you go. Because I've heard of it before, but not with ice cream. I usually think like, sip and pay. Yeah.
It's
Like
usually
maybe
drink.
mimosas
It's alcohol
and
and
wine.
paint.
It's usually
Yeah.
alcohol.
So how did that come to
Well, that was definitely JP. I mean, I think that was part of the conception of like, we're gonna have paint nights.
Oh, yeah.
Like it went with it because Davinci was an artist, so we wanted to create a paint night here. We didn't do it for almost 6 months, I
Yeah, so it
think,
took about 6 months to get going.
to get it going. And then we knew we wanted to have a different curve on it. We didn't want to paint just the vase with
Yeah,
the
because
flower.
the ones you're talking about, the paint and sip, is,
sipping,
there's no kids allowed. Like there's age limits. Like
Right,
you have to be
right.
21 to do those. And then it kind of, these were just like, well, why don't we do paint nights for everyone?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that there's some people who've probably done like 40 paint nights. Like they just come every time because they
Every
just
time.
enjoy it. And that's kind of back to the same idea, like get off your phone.
Yeah.
Like paint. Like remember what it's like to have a life without a phone. Like that's what I push for. That's what the store is pushing for.
Yeah.
Like you're over there creating ice cream, you're making your own creation. Like we're not telling you what to do. We don't have
There's
a
no
menu up there.
rules.
There's no menu up there that tells you, oh, put this, and this, and this. Like you create. You're creating your art. You're creating everything. You create your ice cream sandwich. Like that's the whole point of the shop, is feel creative, inspire creativity. That's the whole point.
I mean, it's just so awesome and unique how you were able to forge something like ice cream and art in effort to like bring back connection, right?
Yeah.
We bring back connection to unplug, you know what I mean? Just so that we can get back to doing this thing. You know what I mean? Which was like so awesome because that's what we're about too. Finding ways to get back to just having the conversation one-on-one rather than you talking to me and me being like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, what'd you say?
I mean,
Okay.
I've done 2 paint nights my own. Like I did a Van Gogh themed one, and then
floral one there.
oh, that one right there. That's a Van Gogh one, but we put our spin on it and put actual like flowers. But I mean, I had a blast. I felt like a kid. I was terrible. Mine doesn't look that good, but I had a blast doing it. Like it's crazy not to be on your phone for 2 hours. Like people can't think the last time they've been on the phone for 2 hours like that.
Yeah.
Like even you go to the movies, you're just like, I'm gonna check my phone real quick.
I mean, that's kind of like a thing that we have to deal with too, because even though Alamo creates the culture of like movie lovers and hey, we have a strict policy, no talking, no phones.
Yeah.
There are always those people who, even though on the pre-show it says, hey, just so you know, we will kick you out. This is a strict rule.
Yeah.
People will still fidget and just look, even if it's just like one of these, just like, okay, because we've seen it. You know what I mean?
It's addictive.
Yeah, it's just like this need to always stay connected and check this thing.
Yeah.
You can never be completely disconnected and enjoy something that's in front
Just
of you.
what's in front of you.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love like I paint every now and then. When somebody doesn't show up, I love it. I literally will tell the staff, hey guys, I'm checked out. I'm gonna be painting. I leave my phone in the back, and I just escape for 2 hours. And I just paint. And I'm not the best painter. Like my first painting probably ever was here, besides doing art class in school. But when I get to sit and paint, it's for me it's therapeutic, because I am on my phone. I'm checking Instagram. I'm posting. I'm coming up with a new creation. Like I'm writing stuff down. So when I do get to just sit and paint, it's like my mind is finally like, all right, take a break. Like just dive into what you're doing right then and there. I think that's why most people come. They get to just kind of escape and paint, and then we get a lot of kids. And what's cool too is our spin is a lot of it's pop culture. We've got Pikachu there. We've got Nightmare Before Christmas. Ariel. People of all ages are like, and it's cool when I see young kids like, what? Jack Skellington? And it's just, that movie's old. Like
they get that connection with their parent.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, their parents saw it a bunch, and they're like, oh yeah, I've never shown my kid this. So now you build a connection between families. Like the parents, like, oh, now I gotta show my kid this. Oh, you don't know who this is? Let me show you. Like it just happens all the time. Like you see parents putting their phone down with their kids and just like, hey, like, let me tell you about this guy. This is what this show's about. Oh, can we watch them when we get home? Like, it's more about building the bond than it is about the ice cream.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you want to hand something down, right? And what better thing to hand down than something that you love or you're passionate about, which might be a movie or art or whatever. And the Samurai Jack thing right off the bat, it's like if I ever have a kid, I'm like, yo man, we gotta watch a
But
couple
you might
of your Samurai
forget,
Jacks.
like you'll forget for years, and you'll walk in here and you'll see that, like, oh yeah,
Right.
And then now you're like, now I'm gonna show my kid, like that's how you remember.
Okay. I love that, man. And the pic, I mean, it doesn't even really look like Haku, but the fact that it's different, but I can tell right away that is him. I was like, yo, I automatically it's just been on my mind. It's stuck in my mind now. So that when I go home, I'm gonna go on Hulu. I'm like, I'm gonna knock a couple out because it does bring back the nostalgia. You know what I mean? The connection to like, oh man, as a kid, I used to like geek out on this all the time. Stay up late just to watch this thing. You know what I mean?
And then we grow up and we lose that connection.
Well, we're distracted. We get caught up in real life responsibilities. Running a business, trying to like be in school, do the things that we want, and then you come to somewhere like here and you see it, and you're like, you know what?
You're back
I need to revisit it, I need to revisit it again. But yeah, so right now, what would you say has been like your favorite flavors or concoctions that you've made as of late? Because that cookie was so good, so I don't know. I'm like about to order me a little round before I leave because it was so good, man. Like,
I only made that batch just for you guys, so that's yours, man.
Yeah, the public doesn't get them yet.
Not yet, man.
So those will be
exclusive. Yeah.
I mean, we might make like an unlimited amount, maybe 2 dozen, 3 dozen in a day, and once they sell out that day, that's it. Like if you show up too late in the day, like you missed your chance. Like it's just kind of we don't want to overbake them because we always want to have them fresh. So it's like if we bake 100, then it's like, oh cool, we sold 50, but we have to throw away 50, or we sell them the next day for the discounted. They're yesterday's. We don't sell yesterday's cookies for the same price as today's cookies. So you get like, you don't get them as fresh. They'll taste good, but they're not like, those are still kind of warm and gooey.
I made those this morning.
So some people do get upset, but it's just like, well, I mean, it's like going to go buy Jordans at a store. Like, you weren't the first ones in line. Like, you don't get them. Like, come back next time.
It's like y'all always are finding ways to like create that drive, to create like sparking that engine. Like, hey, there's a reason to come back. There's a reason you want to come back. Is that something that just kind of came up innately, or is that something you've always kind of been like I guess always thinking towards?
I think it's part of the creative process. Like, right now I have about maybe 7 to 9 cookies on deck, but I want to create more than that. And so it's like, I can create 10 cookies today. Let's, just going to throw a bunch of stuff together, but I want to create quality and kind of keep it new, keep it fresh. For the summer, we had a triple fudge s'more cookie. We baked triple fudge cookies. I stuffed it with marshmallows and graham cracker crumbs. Woo! Amazing. And then we just ended that like last week. That's it. That's done. When will it come back? I don't know. Maybe later in the year. Maybe you'll have to wait till next summer. But you know, it's just there's just always something.
Little flex on
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see, you know. But that's what's cool about, you know, our paint nights, our art. There's always something new to create. You can, you know, every month we come out with 3 or 4 new paint nights. You know, I can do the same one, but that's just not fun. You know, I want to keep it new, keep it exciting, and you know, that's kind of. And even our flavors, we change out 3 or 4 a month. Right now, our signature right now is a strawberry pebble, which is meant to replicate, you know, when you're eating Fruity Pebbles, the milk turns into like a strawberry cream, and then you got Fruity Pebbles mixed with it. You got strawberry pebble. That's only here for another couple weeks, and then it's gone. Watermelon, it's only here right now, fresh, while watermelons are in season, and then it's gone.
I heard that.
Okay.
Yeah, so get it while you can, yeah.
I was gonna say it's like it almost keeps everyone, you know, like actively, not involved, but like participating in the store. So it's like if I'm on Instagram, like yo, I want to get some ice cream this week, so I'm gonna keep checking to make sure like
See what they got.
Yeah, see what
Yeah.
comes out new, because maybe they'll do like. For me, I'm big on Oreos, so maybe I'm just sitting there and I'm checking like, all right, I'm gonna see in the next couple of weeks what's up, and you come out with like this brand new concoction with Oreo, like just volcano or something, and I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm doing tomorrow morning. I don't care if it's for breakfast. I'm gonna go over there and eat it because I've been craving it. I want to go see it.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, and it's cool because it keeps you involved even if you're not there.
Yeah, we get regulars, you know, maybe even once a week or even, you know, every other week, and they're like, what's new? What's new? What do you got? I had this last time, what can I get this time? Like, give me something like that I'm gonna be excited for. And that's exciting for me to know, like, you came in to try something new. You came in because you
just
want,
walk through.
yeah, you came in to like try something new, and of all the ice cream shops around, I mean, we're in LA, you know, you want to keep coming to see what we have to provide. And that makes it fun for me because I can just I get to keep creating. Constantly. I actually made that cookie and I stuffed an Oreo inside. I didn't make it today.
Aww. I would have been the whole podcast and then like just eating them. No, y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. I'm gonna eat these. Amandla, you want that? Okay, cool. I'm gonna eat that because this is really good. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just love that idea because it keeps things fresh. It keeps things like up to date. Whereas if you go like to any other ice cream shop, it's like you know what you're gonna get. It's the same thing, you know. Which is like why I like immediately vibe with this place because it's like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
Oh, this is unique. Like not even just the ice cream, but the walls. And we kind of talked about this a little bit when before we started. But could you go a little bit into like your story as far as leading up to the point where you wanted to do this? I know we kind of talked about music a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like talk about that again.
Yeah, so pretty much the shop started because this was supposed to be a job to come home to. JP actually, maybe 11 years ago now. Actually, yeah, 11 years. It's crazy. We grew up going to metal shows and you know just concerts in general as a kid, you know, and we got the inspiration to create this clothing line that kind of surrounded that lifestyle and that upbringing that we had. You know, every weekend for us, we'd go to a show. Every weekend, as many as we could. I used to play in a band. It was just always music. Kind of drives our lives to this point. And it created a bond, you know, between friends, people we don't know. You know, we go to shows now, and we have friends there that are almost like family that we know when we go to a show and we see them, it's like a family reunion. Like they may live in Riverside or Anaheim, but when it's that night for that show, you see your family. Like it's a crazy connection. And you know, we started this clothing line 11 years ago now, and you know, one thing led to another where we started actually touring with music festivals all over the US. You know, we started on the West Coast, and then someone was like, hey, this would be great at this festival in the East Coast, you should try that. So then we go to the East Coast. Someone would say, hey, there's another big festival in Florida, you should check out. Cool. We go to Florida. Next thing you know, someone was like, hey, there's this music festival that you should be a part of and just do the whole thing. And slowly it evolved to that, and eventually what happened is we started touring a couple of months out of the year, constantly going out and selling and building the brand. But it turned into, you know, at the time I was actually working at Fresh and Easy. I was managing. So every summer it'd be like, hey boss, I got a take a leave of absence. I feel stressed, or eventually they caught on, but they'd be like, yeah, go, come back. I worked my butt off to make sure when I left, they knew it was, you deserve it. When you come back, ready to go. And eventually it was like, hey man, like I can't do that all the time. We can't do that all the time. And so we were like, well, we should create something to come home to. Let's invest in ourselves instead of just gotta take a leave of absence. And sure enough, JP actually we should open up a shop. I think you said sandwich shop before.
Yeah, it was gonna be a regular sandwich shop before. My mom's office, their neighbors were selling their sandwich shop. And then when I was little, I used to run over there. I was like 8 years old. I hang out in their sandwich shop because they had TV, and I didn't want to be in my mom's office. I was like, this place is boring. Korean family, and they were just like they treated me like one of their kids always. And then they were selling the ice cream shop or the sandwich shop, and they were like, "Oh, you want to buy it?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like they were gonna give it to us for super cheap just because it was me. And then I was like, "No, I'm good. We passed." And then they sold it, and then a year later, we're like, "Oh, we should have went there instead and just done ice cream there." But I mean, Carson opening here has become a home. Like this is Carson's ice cream shop. Like people come in here like, I'm glad we have this. Like we have this place. Like
you
enjoy it.
You're giving people a place to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, you were just saying the people coming to every paint night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just want people to go somewhere to just be with other people and do some cool shit like painting ice cream.
Pretty much, yeah, man. I mean, I think the coolest thing that's ever happened here is I actually had a lady tell us, like, you're our ice cream shop, when you think Carson, like, it's not Anaheim, it's not Santa Monica, it's not downtown LA, but she was like, they make us go to these cities and support these places in these cities, but they never build, like,
they don't invest in Carson.
In Carson or some, other cities. It's always high-end cities, you know what I mean? And she was like, I'm grateful and thankful that you're here because, we don't have to go out there, drive miles and miles through traffic, support them. Like you're around the corner, like you're our shop.
We offer those premium flavors. We don't offer just those thrifty brand flavors. Like those, we offer. I think we're the only ones who offer premium in this area.
So it's like whenever they're coming here, they're getting something they're not going to be able to get anywhere else.
Yeah.
This isn't just.
And we try to come up with flavors and stuff, and then people rip it off, and I'm just like, oh man, are you
happened twice, yeah.
Like it's tough. Like you think you can't copyright ice cream flavors.
Yeah.
So if you come up with a flavor and then someone else rips it off, you're like, oh well. And they just rename it. Like it's just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, it's kind of it hits you in the gut, but at the same time, like you're like, oh cool, we did something cool that other people were gonna. Like the mango,
at least we know we're doing it.
Like the mango tahini. We've been doing that for almost 4 years, and now everyone does it. But it was just kind of like, yeah, well, we thought of it first, and then they advertise it as vegan, and we're like, oh, we don't even advertise it as vegan.
Yeah,
it's not really.
It's just mango sorbet, and then we add chamoy to it.
But no one ever thought about putting spiciness on ice cream. And it was just kind of like strawberry pebbles was. When I was a kid, I used to eat Fruity Pebbles with strawberry milk, and that's how that flavor came to be. Wow. And then we just turned it into an ice cream. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Food Network.
He's all in the back watching it. Hey, I got an idea, dog.
Don't worry about the last episode. Like, you ain't eat yet, right? You ain't eat yet?
We're working on a new flavor. It'll be blue and yellow. It'll be a galaxy swirl for the LA Galaxy,
Oh, okay. I love that because then it's like.
It'll probably have like Reese's Pieces in it, so there'll be like little meteorites in the galaxy and stuff.
Oh, sick.
So that's what we're working on right now.
Oh, nice. You can offer your team and also like be
We're
creative.
We're big soccer. That's how we ended up here was because of the galaxy.
We're on our way to a USA. We were watching a USA game, and someone's like, "Hey, the spot's open." 2 months later.
Yeah. Oh, snap. And we've had Galaxy season tickets since like 2011.
Yeah.
So we've always.
So y'all are big on Ibrahimovic signing for sure, right?
That was good. That was exciting, man.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, dang, because like I know he's just like.
That goal he did last year on his first game against the Chivas was Dude, it was just like, you're like, wow, you never seen anything like that. That's the best game I've ever been to in my life. Like, it was great. Like, it's insane.
So what would, like, you know, since we're talking about Carson and like what, you know, you're providing, not just like ice cream, but like the experience and the escape for people, like they can call this ours, you know, like what would something like that, what did something like that mean to you as far as like getting someone like Ibrahimovic come down because you love Galaxy and like this, you have pride in your city, so then you get someone as big as that, because I know soccer's trying to build up like that. You know what I mean? You get someone like Ibrahimovic.
After games, we get pretty decent crowd after games, and it's pretty crazy to see the smile on everyone's face. It's like I mean, he's like Michael Jordan. Like, it's just, you have that superstar, and you come in here and you see people's faces after he does something insane. You're just like, everybody in here just bonds over that. Like, you see strangers in line talking about the game they just saw. Like,
because they're all wearing their gear too. Like, we get people. They don't live in Carson, but on game nights, they're here. Like, it's their ritual. It's their after game ritual. Like, watch the Galaxy game and then go to Davinci and grab a scoop. They know we're fans, so we start talking, and
they always get a discount. Anybody in Galaxy gear gets a 15% off. Yeah, so they always get that.
I heard that plug. Y'all Galaxy fans,
that's the only way we can,
you know what I mean?
That's the way we can pay them back for supporting Galaxy.
Yeah. So cool. How far is the stadium from here?
Three-quarters
Oh,
mile.
dang! So it's right around the corner. Oh,
right there.
Yeah. Because like you didn't see it. The disrespect. You didn't see it coming in. I'm ashamed of y'all.
The 5-time champion stadium is right here.
No, I feel like it's the I have always passed. I've always passed the it's the new stadium over there by the Coliseum, the other LA team. I don't follow soccer. But I'm like, I love that the sport is building to the point where it's like, okay, cool, now we can actually start.
The Rams, the Chivas,
the goats.
I know. No, I just like the spirited rivalry, like in any sport. Like, I feel like that just makes the sport so much better. You know what I mean?
It's great to be a soccer
I feel like it's the only rivalry in LA. Like, you think Dodgers, Angels, like, no one really cares. Lakers, Clippers, no one really cares. Kings, Ducks. But you go to these rivalries, and it's an actual rivalry. It's like,
it's passion, man. There's some.
It really matters.
I mean,
and it's only twice a year. Where, like, I think baseball, Angels, they're different leagues, but they play each other maybe 4 times a year. So it kind of, I don't know if it takes away from the value of the games. And it's cool.
It's exciting.
It definitely brings another aspect to the shop of customers, where it's just, they're not here for the art, they're here because they have that soccer unity.
Now you're just missing a nice little flat screen so you can have the Galaxy games, and you have people come in, do paint night, but also the game, and eat ice cream the whole time. I mean, might as well.
One day, man, one day.
Yeah, I know, right? But I mean, it seems like you guys got, you know, your hands on something great and like different, which is like always dope. I mean, especially with the environment and atmosphere you're creating for people. I just remember when I first heard about the paint thing, I was like, whoa, I never even like heard of that or imagined that. I just always thought like, oh yeah, like you drink wine, you chill, and you paint, but not like ice cream, and it's inclusive for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like, okay, cool. Like, never even thought of that. That's the coolest thing ever.
And that's what's actually really cool. It's like you said, like, no one does this. We're actually LA's one and only ice cream paint night shop. Like, everywhere else it's sip and paint.
Yeah.
And it's literally, everybody calls themselves sip and paint. It's like, we're ice cream and paint. Like, and yeah, some people are like, oh, do you do alcohol? Like,
but we actually put input into the paintings. Like, a lot of those places, like, people are just like, oh yeah, just do this generic painting, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And we tell our artists, like our instructors, like, hey, we want this, and this. Like, our input goes into the paintings. It's not like a set program. Like, oh, we could do this.
Yeah.
It's easier for you guys. You don't have to do any thinking. Like, every canvas or everything that's painted actually has thought behind it. Like, it comes with logic, and it's just like, oh, well, this is September, so let's do this, or Halloween's here, let's do a Stranger Things, or A Night Before Christmas. Like, everything's
kind of thought out.
Yeah, everything's super detailed. It's not just,
we do every now and then do the generic thing, but everything we try and do is like like what we enjoy. Like our first paint night ever was a Harry Potter paint night theme. Like
that's so cool.
we did Hogwarts Castle. I'm a huge
Because he
Harry
loves
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to do it. And of course, that's the best part is when we do a themed paint night, and as soon as we're gonna start, I put on the soundtrack, and everyone's like, "It's happening!" Like when we did the Harry Potter one.
We had there's a group, the Dumbledore's Army or whatever.
Yeah.
They came in and they did a few paint nights.
Yeah, they had like
It's
a
like
huge
a-
following, and it's like
They
a
do like
Facebook-
meetups and stuff like that. Like the actual.
We had a Hello Kitty one. Like they have a huge Facebook group,
Thank
and
you.
they did a private one. So it was cool to get like those super fans in here, and all those Hello Kitty fans. They were all wearing Hello Kitty gear. They were all strangers. They just knew each other on Facebook because they're this group, and
Yeah.
we brought them like together
so cool, man.
to like do something. And the same thing with like Dumbledore's Army. Like they were every now and then they meet up and they got to do like
We
an
have
activity with us.
butterbeer always on stock. Like
Yeah.
anybody, it's called Flying Cauldron. It's almost like it tastes like butterbeer. It's butterbeer.
After the movie,
Yeah,
they have a drink called Butter.
But anybody who comes in here with a Harry Potter shirt or a Harry Potter fanatic, you just hey, we got this, and they're like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And they do a float with that, a butterbeer vanilla float, and they love it. Like,
So it's
So we-
all themed.
yeah.
Yeah. So, any ideas for the upcoming Halloween? Any inspiration for us? Maybe like what you're thinking that you haven't done yet? Because I saw the dairy poster over there. I don't know if that would be something because the new It's coming out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you watch it. Do you follow any of the new It movies? Because I know the old one. I feel like every time I bring up the old one, no one really knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the old one,
Uh,
and I'm sitting there in the theaters for the new one, and I'm just like, people were really shocked to realize it was a 2-part movie, and I was
Yeah.
like, did no one watch the old one?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always been a 2-part movie.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, wait, it's not over, and I'm like, yeah, duh, like that's how the movie's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, you
been watching it, I had a call because I looked them all the DVD, and then they were like, "Hey, why did it end like that?" I'm like, "Flip the disc."
Flip the disc.
Skip the disc.
Yeah.
Oh, you had mentioned you had an idea about what you were trying to think about the poster, right?
Yeah,
Or
man.
paint.
I tried to do it when the movie came out.
The first part.
The first part, yeah. I wanted to do like a portrait of Pennywise, and we have the Van Gogh where it's like the flowers coming out, and I wanted to do something like that, but it would be a portrait of Pennywise, and then there'd be a red balloon taped to it, and the balloon would float, so just every now and then just kind of cross his face, and you'd see him peek out, like super creepy. And I tried to tell my teachers to do it, but they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do something like that." I'm gonna eventually just make it myself. But yeah, we come out with a few themed ice cream flavors. We actually have one, our signature flavor. It's called Trick or Treat, and it's pretty much an orange, like pretty sweet cake ice cream, and then we throw in a bunch of candy bars: Reese's, Butterfingers, Twix, Snickers, and it's literally a candy bag. So it's called Trick or Treat. I'm working on one called something like to do with like Freddy Krueger. I'm working on a bunch of cool stuff like that. And then paint nights, we've got a lot of, hopefully do some Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. We have I kind of had the idea of doing like an activity where if you come in dressed up, doesn't matter what it is, like we're gonna do like a paint activity where you maybe paint your costume or something like that. Different cool stuff like that. Yeah. We're all just always mixing it up like that. Just what can we do that's brand new? A workshop, not even a paint night that's like, some of them take a little time, but something you could just come in and do and do an activity, So that's a big thing. We've got a pretty cool art program. We're always just trying to do the next thing, not just painting, but maybe creating or building or, something like that.
I mean, always innovating, always working on the next thing.
Always
I mean,
creating,
that definitely feels like the place you've created. So it's like, again, I'm just in awe, man. It's so cool being in here because it's like constantly reinventing and trying to one level up
Always
what you always
evolving.
did. Yeah.
I mean, every business is always evolving with time. You just don't sit there and think it's gonna be great always. You always gotta evolve, and then just even with the clothing line, it's just from where we started. It's been 11 years. It's just where we're at now. We've evolved so much. Every year there's few changes, and right here, same thing. I feel like every 3 months there's let's change this.
Yeah.
Like there's always coming together, thinking like you just can't
just settle.
Like I feel like people get to the top and they sit there and they're like, oh cool, I'm at the top, I don't have to evolve. And then later you're just like, oh, that company's gone. Like it's just kind of, if you're not changing, like change has to be a part of your image, because you just sit there and it's not gonna work forever.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if we were doing what we did the first 6 months or the first year, we wouldn't be here. Like, we had to grow, we had to evolve, and some of those changes, some of them didn't work, but it took the ones that didn't work to figure out what would work and create our niche. And 3 years later, like, people are with it. People are now asking for changes. They want to know what's new. They want to know what I'm coming up with, and that's part of the business model now. Like, and people are always giving. That's the best part too. People are always, make this, and that. Like, make these ice cream flavors, make these cookies. Yeah, and sometimes it works. Sometimes I'm like, I didn't even think of that. Like, you're a genius. Let me figure out how to work. And it's happened once or twice, and you can't just shelve people's ideas. Like,
I think the Hello Kitty was people's ideas. I don't think it was ours.
Some of these paint nights, that's another thing. Some of these paint nights weren't our ideas. Somebody was like, hey, I want to do a private party, but I want to paint this. Cool. We're going to make it happen for you. Hello Kitty was the Hello Kitty group, actually. They thought they wanted to do that. They're like,
well, now people we're doing more and more birthday parties. People are like, hey, can we do a birthday party at my house? Bring the tables, bring paint nights, and we're doing birthday parties, and it's something different than, it costs the same as a jumper. It's pretty much what, at the end of the day, it's like, you got a jumper and a dessert. It costs the same, so why don't you just have us set up, we'll do your tables, do this, and you do something one of a kind. Like, Girl Scout troops, soccer teams, there's like an industrial or something. They make tools here or something. They made that tool paint night they wanted.
Oh yeah, we got there's a Kellogg's factory somewhere around here, and there's a group of, they're all like engineers for them. So they came in and they wanted to do like gears and stuff like that. So we created like kind of like a tree, but instead of like leaves, I bought a bunch of like little gears and stuff like that we attached to it. And it was their paint night. They were like,
but they used it as a team building for their whole engineering department. Like people come with ideas. Can we do this? Like, okay, sure, why not? Like, if you guys want, we'll try to make it work as best as possible. And people, I think that's why people keep coming back. They just kind of.
It's like you keep the door open for that, so that when people not only like discover you, they're like, you know what? Like, I have this idea. I wanted to do something for my company or my birthday, and I want to bring it to y'all and be like, hey, what if we do a paint night like Marvel themed or something cool like that, and then you can do your own thing, and then next thing you know, we're having our party here and doing this awesome paint night.
We had a kid's birthday party earlier this year, and the kid loves emojis. We did a paint night of
emoji faces.
Emoji faces.
That's what they wanted.
The kid wanted to do emojis, so then me and our instructors, we were like, what could we do? Which emojis do we do? And she's like, let's just print out a bunch of emojis, and they choose the 4 emojis that they want.
Was the most popular?
Poop. The poop emoji.
Poop emoji.
Every kid chose a poop emoji.
Every kid.
What is that?
And then they like made one of themselves of how they look, the sad face, the heart. These kids, they thought of it. They were the ones that were creative.
9, 10 maybe?
Yeah. It was crazy. 9-year-old, and they wanted to do a bunch of emojis, and I was like, we know we're doing something right. Just because of that.
Boom. You took them face down into a phone and then flipped that on and was like, all right, we'll just use that. Right back up. Let's connect. Back up to connect. Yeah.
And it was beautiful. And that's one of our more popular, like, kids always want to do that as a private party now. Like, they just want to do it because emojis are fun.
They are.
I actually have to use self-discipline not to. I'm trying to like use less emojis. I feel like it makes whatever message I'm trying to send like less serious, or like people kind of like, oh yeah, you kind of silly.
Are you mad?
They released another 250 today.
Oh my god.
They announced the 250 coming next year.
Oh my god.
It's tough. It like provides so much context. It's like, all right, I'm like, hey, can you do this for me? And I'm like, damn, they probably gonna think I'm like telling them, commanding them. Let me put a little face right here that's just like.
You got it.
Sure.
Thumbs up.
Why not? Let me do that. I'm down, but really, I'm not down.
So that was a cool, concept that kids are coming, up with this stuff as well. So
That's a trip, man. And one of the things I really think is super dope, that I think is one of the things why we connect so much, is like our, I guess, love and focus on family, like how important that is. And just in, like, it's funny, me and him were talking yesterday, it's like probably one of the things we would identify with first is like son, right? Like we probably, it won't be actors first, it won't be students first, it won't be like cool dudes first, it'll be like we're sons first, and then, you know, brothers, cousins, you know, whatever else the thing is. And so I was curious as to like how, I mean, I'm you already have family in your life, I'm sure, but how like the family environment here has possibly changed, maybe like how you see like it affects people, or actually maybe how much folks actually really need it. You know what I mean?
I think it's cool. I mean, when you talk about family, especially here, like I think, you know, starting your own business is tough, and it's even tougher keeping, you know, like employees.
There's a lot that people don't see.
Yeah.
People see this. They
Yeah.
don't see all the other stuff.
The behind the scenes, and
That's the hard part. This is the easy part. The behind the scenes is the hard part.
yeah. I mean, you know, we talked about it earlier. You know, a lot of businesses have a lot of turnover, always hiring. I've had the same crew now almost 2.5 years. Like people are always wanting to apply here, and I'm like, these guys they're here.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, A1.
yeah, and it's cool because you know we're small business. We're you know, I'm not like Subway or McDonald's. You know, we don't have as much benefits as we'd like to offer, but these guys are here for the passion of it, you know, and that's hard to find. You know, I most of these guys, this is either their first job or maybe their second. You know, next door Subway, we've had 2 of their employees come here, and you know they've moved away, but every summer, hey, I'm coming back for the summer. Do you have a spot? Do you have a spot? And I'm like, yeah, come. And it's cool for them to like see what we're doing. Like they support ultimately our idea. That's really what it comes down to, the vision. They support it, they back it, and these guys, they make it happen, you know. I can only do so much. I've got 2 hands, but the crew, you know, they're the machine. They're the machine, and I always tell them, you know, you're not going to work here forever, but while you're here, I'm going to make sure I give you all the tools I can to succeed, because, you know.
Yeah, they've all got some management experience.
Yeah.
When Danny leaves on tour, they're just
They
like,
run the shop.
They know how to. Oh, we got to reorder this. Oh, we got to make a list of this. Like they're learning. They're learning not just how to be employees. They're learning how to manage a business if they ever
And
want
run
to
a
do their
business.
own business.
That's huge, especially at their age. Like, I didn't get to learn that until I was like 23, 24, 25. When I started making those moves, you know, at Fresh and Easy, these guys are all 18, 19, learning, you know, whatever, you know, hopefully it's good, but everything that I've learned, I'm trying to throw on them every day, so that they're all going to leave here one day, but I hope they leave with a business sense and a managerial sense of not just going somewhere to be an employee, but somewhere where they know I'm going to get to the top. I want to go to the top. I don't want to just be, you know, at that level. I want to be the best I can be at that level, so I can be the best at the next level and the next. And that's, I mean, that's just work ethic.
I mean, if we opened other stores, if we were able to open other stores, we already have managers for the stores.
Yeah.
Right.
They're already ready to go.
Hands down.
They know how to run the next store. They know how to do all that stuff. They're ready.
Stay ready so you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to be over prepared than under prepared.
Yeah.
Like, it's just with everything, just be over prepared. Like, just hey, we might have a busy weekend according to last year's numbers. Why don't we over prepare, order ice cream, so we don't go low on the weekend? Like, it's just kind of, it always works like that.
And these guys are always passionate too. You know, I have a group chat with them, and they're always engaging. Danny, we need to do this, and that. You're right, we do. I dropped the ball on that because I've got to deal with everything else. And they're seeing those things, and it doesn't even matter if it's minor. Like, they're catching how to be a better Davinci every single day, and that's huge. Like, that is huge.
The culture is, I mean, you guys have been in places where you're just like, you look at the employees and they're miserable, and they don't want to be here. Like, there's just no culture. They're just a number. And I feel like when you come in here, they don't. Everybody's happy to be here. They're not like, it's not like, oh man, like I gotta come here.
Yeah.
It's always, I mean, it's fun at the end of the day.
You can't be mad.
no,
Serving and
not at
scooping
all.
and eating ice cream.
I
man.
mean,
You can't.
it's like you're not only creating like this experience for the people who walk in, but also the people who work under you.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't find that in too many places in the world, especially when it comes to like trying to create this environment for people to come, right? And I just think that's so awesome because then you're literally creating people not only just how to run a business, but also like how to go tackle the world.
Yeah, what's crazy is I love saying this, or I love when I think about it, but people, walk into McDonald's or Subway or something, and sometimes people just order angrily. They're just mad. They're already mad, and they're taking it out on, whoever the employee is. You can't order ice cream mad.
Yeah.
You can't come in here mad. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, you walk in here, like, with a smile on your face, ready to enjoy, not just like, I want a scoop with cookies. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. That's never happened. And it's just, that's the environment we've created.
Yeah.
You just can't do that here.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like people come in and they're so like, like kids are the best because there's 3 different types of kids. There's little kids who can't handle their shit. They're like, I just want everything. Like they just want everything. Then there's probably until like 5 or 6, and then the 6 to like 14-year-olds are just like real shy. Like, Mom, can you get me the vanilla?
They want mom to order.
And then like the 14-year-olds to like the 18-year-olds walk in front of their parents, just order their own thing like they're adults, and it's just and you can sit here all day and watch kids order, and every kid will be one of those 3, and you already anticipate how kids are gonna be. Like you anticipate people. Like it's funny.
Yeah. And I was bringing this up yesterday how ice cream is just an immediate mood improver. You know what I mean? You could have a horrible day, but then you come in here and you can have some ice cream. And it's like you're gonna feel way better after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even I had that cookie and immediately like
Your
my
sugar
day
levels
just went
went
up a little
up,
bit.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had some guy literally yesterday. He was an Uber driver, and I was making his stuff, and I always try and engage. I've done Uber Eats. Like, I know it's a struggle. And the guy was like, I was like, hey man, how's it going? I just got one item. Like, how's your day, man?
Yeah,
Man, it's been, he was bummed. Like, and I was like, have a cookie, man.
Yeah, and it's that, man. Like
He walked out and he walked right back in. He's like, dude, you immediately changed my mood. Like, thank you. Like,
I love that, man.
from one
ever,
cookie.
No one ever thinks like. Being like people treat Uber drivers. Sometimes it eats people like crap. But it's just kind of like, dude. Like if a cookie makes something that cost us whatever it cost us, we just give it to them, and it just made their day. Like they've been doing Uber for 10 hours or whatever. They've been to 10 restaurants. They don't get nothing, and then you just give them a cookie, and it just changes the whole mood. But it's just
Turn their day around.
Like, as soon as you finish this cookie,
It's just-
you feel right as right.
It's crazy, like the way that it changes.
But then
and
they come back as customers as well.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey man, like you made my day. Come back as a customer, or they'll tell their friends.
Don't remember. you.
it's always, hey, how'd you hear about us? I was picking up Uber yesterday, and I needed to get some ice cream, and so I'm back. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how like, I mean, it's,
Which is another part of the evolving business. When we started, deliveries we didn't have any delivery services. Now deliveries are like 25% of the business. If you're not delivering food, you're missing out on a big part. And the crazy thing is, Uber contacted us.
yeah.
Like most people have to apply. Like Uber contacted us. Like we were I think we were maybe the second ice cream shop in all of LA that was on Uber Eats.
Yeah.
And they reached out to us, and it's just it goes through reviews, I guess, but
Yeah, it's crazy.
But-
That's a whole nother culture.
yeah, the review culture is it's the dumbest.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, we're a 5-star, but I don't think anybody in the world deserves to be a 5-star. I think everybody should be a 3-star, and then you either grade them good or bad, like good or great. But it's just the review culture is just
It's crazy.
it's a different world. People contacted you and be like, hey, for $300, we can give you 10 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
It's just
We
like
got one of those the
and
other day.
you're like, why? Like everything you see, social media, reviews, Yelp, all that's fake. Like it's not. Like you see people with 700,000 followers post something. They're like, they didn't eat that. They just someone paid them $1,000, take my picture, and then post the picture, and it's just like, what? Like. It's a different world. Like people come in here and they're like, we've had buddies do it, and they're like, oh yeah, we paid them like $500. We gave them like 30 free things. Not one thing went in their mouth. All they did was take pictures, post it on Instagram, and you're just
Throw it
like,
away.
they're like, well, so you don't even know if it looks good, if it tastes good. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
Don't know if it tastes good.
I feel like that's literally the theme of what we've been talking about. The difference between the shop you have here and everything, or a lot of other people's stuff, is the idea that that is it can be factory made, it can be just shipped out, and you're numb. People think they want to feel numb, but when they come in here, they open up. Like like you said, like both things they have to feel, and it's like that's what we're giving them, quality. And you have to open up, you have to feel, you have to be present. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to just go through your life and just try to not acknowledge. It's like no, this. It's almost like you're reminding them, like, all right, look, this is the gift you have, y'all. Yeah. Like here you go. Here's a scoop. Here's a scoop of the gift you have. Here's another scoop of the gift you have. Like enjoy it.
You'll see people like, groups of 2 or 3 come in and one's on their phone, and then the person that's brought them, like, yo, get off your phone. You're missing out on the experience. You're missing out. Like, get off your phone. You can call them later. And then I'll get some people, just one person on their phone, and they're like, I gotta call you back. I gotta deal with this ice cream.
I gotta invest in these flavors.
I gotta enjoy this right now. I'll call you back.
If you come in March, we have a Guinness Stout flavor. We have a beer flavored ice cream. Ooh. And it's weird to see, like, you see women and children pump for ice cream, but then when you tell a dude there's a beer flavored ice cream, his eyes just like, what? Like it's not manly to get like cheered up over ice cream, but when you tell him that, there's, oh yeah, I'll try that. Yeah, let me try that.
That's awesome.
I mean, hey.
Like it brings the kid. It brings the kid out. Like you'll see the toughest dude come in, and you're like,
Guinness,
Guinness ice cream, and then he just turns into a kid again. It's fun. Like you don't get to experience that in other businesses. But we're the only ones around here who do a beer flavored ice cream. Like,
hey, I'm just gonna say it again. Like you created a thing that isn't around, and that people get to come and, like, I never even heard of a beer flavored ice cream, like, at all. Immediately I was like, wonder how that would taste if I was eating on a hot summer day. You know what I mean?
That's the truth. Y'all are coming with something different, unique, original. Again, it's like reminding people to go towards life, to live their lives and not just be settled with being numb, or like even if you're coming into work here, not to just settle to get a check, but to grab some tools. Yeah. So again, I want to thank y'all for joining us. Again, this is
so much.
JP
and Danny
with Davinci Ice Cream and Carson. Check them out. Yo, you think you're getting a sense of, you have no idea. Like there's a whole other side of the shop you're not seeing. Come through, bomb, the cookies, bomb. This has been Anthony and Amandla. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah. I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in with us, and just stay tuned for next time. This is the Anthony and Amandla Show, where the conversation never ends.
Breathe, feel me.
Hey, here you go.